Joe Hartman. I go to Reynolds Middle School, and my school is utilizing the hybrid model school this time of the school year.
My name is Daniel Charme. I go to Crockett Middle School, and I live in Hamilton School District.
My name is Liliana Calderon. I go to Lawrence Middle School, and right now we are doing a hybrid model.
My name is Ava Clugston. I go to Grice Middle School, and right now my school is doing hybrid model.
I go to Grover Middle School. I'm an 8th grader at Grover Middle School in the WWB township. Right now, I do every other week. I go hybrid every other week, and you have the choice to go full virtually. It's a half day.
My name is Sam Lasky. I go to Community Middle School in West Windsor, Plainsboro Township, and we are in a hybrid model.
So the hardest adjustments for me is not having the plays, team sports, after school clubs in person, or any of those types of things. I've always loved the play, singing, stuff like that. And really doing stuff like that has been much more difficult now because of all of this stuff that's been going on, including even talking to your friends or even speaking or hanging out with them physically or verbally. It's been so much harder now because of all of this stuff.
The hardest thing for me was not being able to hang out with my friends as much and being able to physically go to school with them, and also not being able to do the extracurricular activities such as the school plays, doing morning announcements every morning, and even just Red Cross and student council like normal, all the clubs.
The hardest adjustment for me is sometimes in our classes we're like in person with a teacher and some classmates, but we still have to be like learning on the Zoom, and sometimes like instead of talking to each other face to face, so sometimes that's a little hard instead of like just talking in person.
The hardest thing for me was being at home like all the time, 5 days a week, and sort of creating our home and school environment in the same place, and with the distractions of being at home and learning just from home.
The hardest thing for me, I really wouldn't say that it hasn't been hard to adjust personally. I think it's been really easy. I get to school on time. I do everything we need to. It's because I keep a routine. So I think that it's been simple, and I really enjoy remote learning.
It's definitely been difficult for everyone at my house. I have younger siblings to really understand like some things where you're either more hands-on or it's something that really needs to be explained thoroughly. And you can have like a conversation about it with your teacher. I really do also miss like the social aspect of it, just being with friends, being like around other people. But I'm glad I get to go in on hybrid days. So.
One positive from this experience was being able to join my classes remotely every day and having my teachers go through the attendance and greet us all one by one, and just having that connection with them. So it was pretty fun.
I've been able to spend more quality time with my family and a couple of friends that I potted with over the summer, like just one or two. I think, yes, I've definitely learned lots of more independent skills. Like I've been able to do a lot of more work by myself, and I think it's helped me learn like what school might look like in the future and how I can really adapt to different things.
One of the positive things that I've taken out of this year is in between classes when I'm at home, I'm able to go downstairs, talk to my family, like maybe even play with my dog and whatever. I think that's really fun. I couldn't have done that when I'm in person at school. So I think that's a good thing from the hybrid model.
A positive thing that I've taken out of this experience is the teachers have learned a new way to teach and experimenting with all new technology. And also the students have become more and more independent because we're now like at home and we don't have that constant help from a teacher in the room with you.
Positive aspect for me would have to be that I get more one-on-one time with my teacher. It helps me learn, helps my learning, and my grades excel more, so that way I get to have more time with the teacher if I need it. And I think that's really helpful if needed.
So a positive aspect for me with all of this has been that it's much more easy to be organized now. It's like when we used to do normal schooling, it's like you had like your papers and your binder, and for me it got all messy sometimes, and it was more difficult for me. But now with the computer, all of your classwork and everything you have to do is just a click away. So it makes everything much more easier and simple when it comes to organization.
Oh.
I think that some of my classmates are taking advantage of this and being able to sort of hide behind the screen. And a lot of people are not unmuting and talking. But then there's also students who really like shine through and show that they can be a leader and that they can unmute first and talk first. So I think everyone's handling it in different ways, but it still feels like very much a classroom community.
So I definitely would have to say that people are using the camera to hide behind, using other people to kind of get the answers, so that way they can take the sort of the easy way out. And I've also noticed that they rely on other people, and some people are more organized than others and keep the work going and are on top of schedule, but some people seem to fall behind and lose track of what they need to do during the week, and it can be kind of confusing when you're like that. But since I like to stay on top of everything, I find that it's much easier to go along with it, and it helps me.
I also have noticed that people are like hiding behind the cameras, like getting out of the work sometimes. But I also feel that my classmates, along with me, like being home, they have more kind of like they're able to do more things during school that they couldn't have done in person. Like how I said that you could like walk around your house and stuff like that. I think that's helpful for everyone.
So a lot of people have been having like a difficult time with stuff, like with my friends or other classmates. Some people have been having a difficult time. They've talked to me about it, but it's like it's really made us kind of appreciate it more when we have the time to talk to each other, whether it be recess, through stuff like games or stuff like that, or through any other stuff like phones, or when we're talking to each other through like even a Google Meet. It's also made us kind of appreciate stuff like that more. We've been working together more. If we ever work together with other people or through like homework clubs, people kind of work harder more, and they kind of like appreciate each other more now, since you don't really get to have that as often as you used to.
I've noticed that some of my peers have been struggling a little, and they rely on the teacher's input. But also some students are exceeding more at the home instruction and being able to focus more on their schoolwork instead of all the other things going on during school.
Well, personally, I could not. If I had to say, I could not pick just one teacher. I would have to say three, because they all have helped me with my confidence. They've helped me when I need it. They've always been there for me, and we've become good friends. And those three teachers have to be Miss Ednesio, Mr. Persichetti, and Miss Hall. They've all done excellent jobs of teaching and helping students. They've gone out of the way to do so much for so many students. Miss Hall teaches art, Miss Ednesio teaches math, and Mr. Persichetti teaches math.
So I've also had three teachers that have really helped me out throughout this 7th and 8th school years. So I have Mrs. Sarver, who is my student counselor. She is just extremely helpful at any points throughout the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade years. She's always been there to help out and to be there for you if you're ever in need, whether it be through an email or in the hallways through hybrid. I've also had Miss Michaels, who is my music teacher. Although it is so much harder to sing now through the computer, she's really been keeping things together and really been making sure that everybody has got things going and is happy during her class. And finally, I have Mr. Peterson, who was my teacher during the 7th grade year. He was a science teacher, and he really kept us thinking. He was like a really inquisitive teacher. He really like kept us going and like trying to like continue finding the answers to the questions that we just can't solve just yet. And it was a really, really good teacher, and I had a really great experience for these 3 teachers.
I also have 3 teachers. My first one is Miss Klein. She was my language arts teacher last year, and she was really engaging, and I was never bored in her class, even when we were online. And she was just such a fun teacher and made learning fun, and I definitely took a lot out of her class. And then this year, Mrs. Strominger is my social studies teacher. She makes learning online feel like real school because she'll be sharing her screen and we'll be taking notes, and it really feels like real social studies class in person. And I really appreciate that, and it makes me like feel really happy and makes me feel like we're in real school. And then also Miss Foray is my math teacher. I had her last year and this year, and she is such an amazing math teacher because she always checks up on kids, makes sure everyone understands what she's teaching, and she also makes math in online feel like in person. And she's just such an amazing teacher.
One teacher that really stood out to me the most during remote learning was Mrs. Icorn. Miss Icorn is the student council advisor. During the whole thing, she ran so many events and had spirit days virtually so that we can all have a little fun during this horrible time.
So my math teacher this year, Mrs. Carbonaro, has like taken like 10 minutes or whatever at the beginning of the classes to like ask us how our weekend was, or like just have a conversation with us, and that helped us, the students, like really connect with her more. And she like shares her screen, takes notes, and like asks us if we need any help, which makes it feel more like regular school back in person. And she like does whatever she can to make it more enjoyable and more interactive. And also my science teacher, Mr. Bauer, also does the same. He like talks to us other than just school stuff. He like connects with the students, and yeah.
Something that I think our high school teachers need to know is that a lot of kids are going to be really shy when we go back in person because they're not going to be able to hide behind a computer screen and then unmute and a mute button. So I think now more than ever, we need to create comfortable environments for students to talk and have those whole class conversations like how we used to, and also restore relationships between students. So it's just more comfortable for everyone to talk, because I know now a lot of people are more nervous to say something than we were before.
One thing that I want my high school teachers to know is that even though we've had these crazy times in these COVID, that we are still very much hard workers, and we try to submit our work on time and all that.
I would like my high school teachers to know that not only am I a determined worker, but also a lot of students that are determined workers. And I noticed that not only when people are determined, but they also are very, they're very focused, and they're trying to get their best work done. They're focused, even when it's hard for them. They're struggling. They still put their best foot forward. They're trying their best. And I noticed that that's not only me, but there's a lot of students out there still trying, and they're not giving up and just hiding. I think that's really good.
So something about me that I would like for teachers in high school to know about me is that like I love to learn, and I love to like be part of this stuff. Like I always love to like show myself and like really like be a part of the class. I've also really loved doing like the acting stuff and really being like part of the stage and stuff like that. I've always loved those types of things. And yeah, I'd really love to see that and go into that during my high school years.
Something I would want my high school teachers to know next year is that this year has been like very different than what school normally is, and the upcoming high schoolers don't really know that experience of actual school. So I want them to like realize and know that we don't have that experience of high school and we don't really know what to expect from it. Eventually, like later on in life, I want to become like a doctor or something because I love helping people. And I want to take like classes in high school, like biology and other sciences that'll help me further my education on medical stuff. And I want to go to like medical school to help me reach my goal of being a doctor.
My future goal is to become an author and artist. I would like to become those things because I figure that it's important to show younger generations how expressing your imagination or artwork or whatever it might be through this way is okay. It's not. It doesn't matter what other people think. It's as long as what you like. It's important to think that you is what you like and not what others think. It's important to be yourself and true to yourself. That's what I would like to be.
In the future, I hope to be happy, healthy, have gone to college, and hopefully start a family of my own.
In the future, I want to play soccer in the high school and become involved with clubs and get to know more students. And also, I want to graduate high school and college confident in my knowledge and my academics. And then I want to do a career that really makes me happy and like I enjoy doing it and just like I really enjoy it. And also, I want to start a family and be happy and have a house and kids.
So my overall dreams and like hopes and goals when I like go farther is really I've always wanted to go into the sciences, especially marine biology. So that would definitely be a big dream job of mine. And another one would be I really love acting and being on stage. So I'd love to become an actor in like Broadway and movies and other things like that.